Says. Be sure. Well, Henry said yes, he could come. It's a good turnout yesterday for the live
Oh.
coming for the post office.
Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Did everybody get the revised?
Yes. It's in a file
Yeah.
with page numbers, I see.
Okay. The page numbers and the edits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that Article 97.
Yeah, it's pretty daunting.
Yeah, that's why, I just, just said be unlikely that
Yeah.
municipal use. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like trade-off, real estate, where does it come from? And it needs a 2/3 legislature.
Oh, yeah. Although very often you can get things through like on a home rule petition,
Yeah.
you know, but it can take time. So it's not a shoo-in.
Right.
Yeah.
Anytime you're having to go to the legislature, but 2/3 is, yeah.
But it does happen all the time. Well,
It does.
not all the time,
Yeah,
but
but it happens.
quite frequently,
yeah.
towns
But-
get what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to go through a process.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to.
that was my brother calling me.
Oh,
I'm busy right now. Is that?
Susie can't make it at all, or she's not just
Susie
on in
can't
person.
get it all.
Nobody's looking to get in, come in, join.
I don't see it. Great to do it.
Up. Oh,
That's.
fingers crossed.
All right, Henry.
Henry in person.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Made a
Now
quorum.
we have a quorum.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. I don't know about Mary Jo, but we'll go ahead and get started. I don't think Brennan was able to reach her. So we go ahead and call the meeting of the MN Spear Library Reuse Committee to order. Today is Friday, May 22nd, 2026. This is a hybrid meeting and it is being recorded at the town hall. We have 4 members of the committee, myself, Rita Farrell, Henry Geddes, Stephen Delmas, Paul Lyons, and absent are Susie Mosier and Mary Jo Johnson. Maybe Mary Jo might be joining us. We'll see. So we have a relatively brief but meaty agenda today. I say meaty because we're going to go through again our final report to the select board. At the last meeting, we did some pretty thorough editing and it's all been incorporated into the report. And what we want to do today is just make sure that all of those edits got incorporated. They're in the minutes, which we're going to do first. And then the last item on the agenda is just to schedule the next meeting. And my thoughts are that the next meeting will be our last meeting and that we would do that with the select board so that instead of meeting separately, we would be at a select board meeting, give the report, and then close out our work. The only exception to that would be, if for some reason the select board wanted us to stay active for some future public meetings, but I don't think it really makes sense. This is our final report.
Right.
Somebody could, from the committee could come and meet with the public, but I think we want to, hand this off to the select board. So why don't we start with the meetings of the minutes from our last meeting, which was May 14th, 2026. I will entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, are there any edits to those minutes from the 14th?
no.
None by me.
I'm all set. Henry, do you have anything that you want to change?
I wasn't there, but to make a quorum,
Yeah, you can do it if you trust that
Yeah.
the minute taker
sure.
took good minutes. Okay, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Dallas, I.
Lions eye.
Farrell, aye. Okay, great. Okay, so why don't we move on now to the final report, and we could kind of follow from the minutes about the changes that were made, right off. The pages are numbered as requested. So I don't know if folks want to kind of go through.
Well,
I mean, I started to highlight it and then I realized, I was like jumping all over the place. In the minutes, we have addendum E is now included. So all the addenda are now attached to the report, and including the email from Donna McNichol outlining that Article 97, use of the town common, flow chart, the questionnaires, so they're all there. On page 2, there was a comment about the conceptual plan and lack of clear state guidelines. So the new language is, but state guidelines as to what is required for a police station, not yet developed. Is that adequate, or do we want? Does that make it clear? Do you see where I'm speaking?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Mary Jo, great. Hi. We're just going over the final report and the edits that we discussed at the last meeting. So just at the very beginning, pages are numbered.
If we can go back to work undertaken by the committee,
Yep.
that's where added a little bit, and then the note, which you can see towards the end of that. My thought would be it says note, the M and Spear Building is on town common property, which is considered EA Article 97 land. Page 2,
Page.
work undertaken by the committee, that first.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. Page 2.
I was thinking that the note should be
Oh.
like it should read independently. So like there'd be a return and a return. So it's
Okay. So like, yeah,
everyone's what I'm saying.
yes. And then, so a return after that sentence.
So
So,
if you look, see where I have. mine
yes,
marked?
yep,
So this will get returned
yeah.
and then another return. So there's a space, sort of like, you're separating.
I can't see that far. So,
So the note essentially forms, we'll say, a new paragraph.
okay, but all the way to addendum F or
That whole,
section?
yeah.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Just following from that,
Yep,
the number one municipal needs assessment, a minor typo, respondents. Plural.
what line is that, Henry? Oh, there's respondents, yep,
Yep.
thank you, great. Is it, compilation of comments can be found as its addendum. Addendum C1 and C2 or addenda? Oh, yeah, well, I'll leave it as addenda. Guess it's plural. Right. So it's addenda.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess going back to the note where it says see addendum F, you
Yeah.
see the other addendums are capital A.
Oh,
That
okay,
should be
yep.
Capital A.
Yep. Oh, yours suggested, Ryan suggested add a recommendation that's a little more meaty.
Yeah,
Definitive.
I redid that, much of that section.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
Great,
yeah,
okay. And we did the compilation of the comments questionnaire results into the report.
correct.
Okay.
And I, yeah, I had suggested maybe we should anonymize.
Yes,
But-
anonymity, yeah.
In reading through them, I didn't think that there was a need to do that, so
Oh, okay.
that's
good.
fine with the
So
way
that's
they
the
are.
way it is.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right.
So I go, just going back to the more meaty
Yes.
recommendations, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if people have had a chance to read through that, but that is, all new, new wording
Narrative,
since
yeah.
you,
Yeah, yes,
the
no.
last version. So I just want to make sure people are okay with that.
yes. Yeah, no, it's great.
I read it. Fine to me.
It turned out really well.
You went?
I think it turned out really well.
I
Yeah.
agree, yeah. And like I said last time, I thought you did a great start
Oh,
with this,
thanks.
and made it easy to build on it.
And the addenda really do help illustrate
Oh, yeah.
the work that the committee did. That it wasn't just, some slapdash report.
My only thought on the recommendations and next steps is that last paragraph
Mhm.
where we talked about the reorganization of town hall to accommodate a presentation.
Yep,
And saying that that option could save the town some money if it was considered unfeasible to install a well and septic. And I was actually wondering if we could say a little bit more about that, that it would potentially allow, because I think looking into that would allow for a little bit more space for the police department and better use of the town hall itself. And it would not necessarily, I'm not quite sure how it would save money necessarily.
If we didn't have to install a well and septic system, there's savings there. So if you're using the existing well and septic system, you don't have
Right.
that, you don't have that cost.
Yeah,
Definitely on the creating more options and creating better space within the town hall for other departments.
yeah.
Um,
I think it might be worth saying that because when,
So,
to me, it might be worth, at some point might be worth doing it whether, no matter what happens
Mhm.
across the street. And I think the other thing is that, if the way that it reads to me is if we decided not to do anything across the street at all, we could save money by doing something here, which I don't think is what was in the intent.
Say that again?
Okay,
Yeah.
so what it sounds like this is saying to me
Yeah.
is if it was unfeasible to install a well across the street.
Right.
Another option would be that we could provide for the needs of town
The police.
services and the police by doing this.
Mhm.
This is an option that might save town money if we're, like, if you're comparing the two.
Right,
This might be cheaper.
Right.
It might save,
right. But it's still gonna cost money.
yeah, but it's still gonna cost money. And I
Right.
think when you're, I think that if you say, when you say it's considered unfeasible, you've almost ruled out that possibility already. And then, but then when you say it's going to save money, you're kind of saying, oh, we're comparing these two options. Right? So I think it saves money. What we're saying is it saves money in comparison. These might save money
In
in
comparison
to
to
this.
building.
But having ruled that out, saying it's unfeasible, I don't think that saying it saves money makes sense. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm not sure how I would word that, though.
What if we just said like unfeasible at the present time or something like that? Because, you know, I guess in my mind, what I was thinking is that a well and a septic are two big expenses right now. Reconfiguring this is something that, you know, could kind of happen more gradually over time and so forth. So there is that kind of comparison.
Yeah,
The unfeasible part really, in my mind, was coming up with a big chunk of money right now, you know, which is what it would cost to put a well and a septic in. And that was maybe unfeasible, at least at the present time.
So for
So
me,
maybe
if it
clarify
said,
that.
if
Yeah.
it's unfeasible at the present time to
Right,
install,
Yes.
right,
then
Yeah.
this might be another option we could consider.
right.
Yes.
That would
But that-
solve some of the problems that were
Yeah.
brought to us.
Yeah, would that address your concern to just add that wording?
Yeah,
So,
because it was missing, to me, it was missing the comparison, and if you just read them separately, I think it's important to, yeah.
then, oh, let's finish with this one first.
so can we get that? Can I add that first, or do you want to?
No, it's just, yeah, I was gonna say it's related. Because we also are saying that, and it was sort of implied in the second paragraph, right, that, right, the, well, but not explicitly so that, you know, if we just leave it as it is,
Mhm.
that's the cheapest.
Right, you don't do nothing is right, right.
It's not in the recommendations per se, is it?
Well, the first, the second paragraph in this whole section, I think. Without any, you know, without such an investment, Spear could still be used as a basic meeting or record storage space.
Yeah.
That's what that was
Yeah.
meant to address, yeah.
And-
And, you know, I tried to keep all of this as short as
Sure.
Yes,
possible.
yeah,
Readability, you know, so,
yeah.
but if we want to expand it to make it clearer, that's absolutely.
Be explicit, this would be that, because we do talk about options as being costly or not. But my just, two words, which would be the least expensive of all options,
Uh-huh, right.
something to that effect.
It's
Some,
in the addendum E
It is.
as option one.
Yeah.
Beer becomes meeting space, no bathroom. No water source, no septic.
Yes,
So it is there.
right.
but these are recommendations. I think they should be upfront.
So Henry, at the very last sentence
Yeah.
in that paragraph, still some improvements would be needed. If we just added, but this would clearly be the least expensive option, at the end. Is that what you were,
And that's what I was.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Do you want to?
should we just add that? Are people okay with that?
Sure.
So just comma at the end of uses, some improvements would be needed to make the building suitable for such uses, but
But
this would still be the least expensive of all options.
yeah,
No.
The other thing I had in mind in writing this is that, we addressed a lot of this, these options in other parts of the
Right.
report already, like the whole conceptual plan on number one, gets into the whole idea of the making this a police station. So I didn't want to, be too
Repeat it.
redundant, in this this section.
can we go back to the last paragraph when Mary Jo had, so if you say that option could save the town some money if it was considered feasible at the present time to install a well and septic system on the town common. And we're saying at the present time due to cost and complexity because of the Article 97. What would make it infeasible to do it now? It's cost and complexity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we say that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be,
Right.
somebody might say, well, why is it infeasible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And where I'm still kind of getting tripped up is the fact that the cost and complexity of doing something here would rival the cost of complexity of doing something across the street. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think they're equal. The complexity part, you have Article 97 across the street.
Right.
That is you're dealing with what's considered a park. You have to go to the legislature to get approval. You have to go through this whole legal process.
So less complex.
This is much less complex around the septic and the water because you just connect to what your existing system is. On top of that, you have the cost of making the connection, but you have the cost of installing all new systems over there. So you have a new well and you have a new septic system. That you don't have that cost here.
But what I remembered, and I think might be important to convey, is that the cost of doing something here surprised me. And it was very near the cost of doing something across the street.
Yeah, but I
So
think it was very rough,
Like,
very rough.
right, the whole thing is rough, but on the other hand, if the town was not able, if the town was saying, we can't spend money over there because it's too much.
Yeah,
If that's too much, this might very well be too much.
it might
also.
be too, and I think you're not gonna know that until you make some investment in some design and engineering.
Yeah.
So you have to spend money in order to make that determination. I think that would be the next step. So,
Yeah, and that's another interesting point to raise that we didn't really raise here. Just to say, a lot of the reason why can't make a recommendation right now.
Mhm.
And what would need to be done in order to make a recommendation is to set aside some money so that we can figure out some of the complexity.
Mm-hmm. And, and my feeling was that, that a decision about use be made first before you spent the money.
Yeah.
So that you decide what is the best place to do a reconfiguration. Is it here or over there? And then you invest the money to investigate. Because unless, everybody wants to spend, a big chunk of money and look at both at the same time. But you're probably, if you were doing a, conceptual plans, you could easily spend for both sites, you could easily spend $35,000, I would guess. Getting an architect to kind of do some drawings here and then getting the design, septic design and soils investigation and perk tests and, or, whatever, the tight tank design, all that are over there. Might not be that much if it was really basic, but, pulling that together is an investment. And I don't know whether or not there's any kind of grant money. I suspect that there isn't, for that, that would be, something that would have to come from the town. But it's like, where do you start? And maybe people, need to know what it's going to cost over there and make that investment before they can say, this doesn't make any sense, that you invest the money, say, what's it going to cost to put a septic system there? And then say, we spent $10,000 and we learned X, Y, and Z, and therefore we're not going to do that.
Right.
And that might be a good investment. And just, say, okay, we explored that. I mean, Leverett did that with the field library. So they spent like $19,000. I don't even think I don't know what they ended up doing at town meeting, but to do kind of an investigation.
They wanted to sell it. So
Yes, they're not on town common. Listen, they don't have the problem we have. So, and in my mind, if I were making this decision, but I won't be, I'd say, yeah, do some more investigation, make an investment, because otherwise that building is going to be sitting there.
Right.
Spend some money and make a decision.
By the way,
That ought to get incorporated in the recommendations.
does your term go through the end of June or are you done?
Just through the end of June.
Okay. The moderator term, ended at town meeting.
Well, I know, we went through this
According to someone.
whole thing, and
Yeah.
apparently there was a town meeting vote in 1974 that said the terms run through the fiscal year.
Uh-huh.
And for a while there, it was like ending it, with a town election.
Right.
And so I got very excited, but
Yeah.
come to find out,
Oh, well.
yeah. So, yeah, that, we could, yeah, I guess we could put in the recommendation, we don't have anything in here about, expending some town funds to do some further technical investigation of the Emmons Spear building, because that's probably where I would go. I mean, if it were me making the decision, I would say spend the money to figure out what so the what was the guy's name, Paul? Stephen, that you talked to, the sanitary engineer.
That
Oh,
Alan, is
Susie.
that Alan Weiss?
No, it was Alan Weiss, but maybe it was Susie. There was another guy.
Talk to.
Yeah, it was Susie. Yeah, I can't remember his name right off the upper.
Is this the lot where for 3,000,
Second-
do an engineer?
Second guy, yeah, yeah. Um.
Was that
I
the
forget.
person? Oh, Chris Stoddard.
Yes, Christoph,
Yeah, that's in here.
yeah.
You argue though,
Go for it, Henry.
this as stated, it does say that it may be less expensive to, it's that haven't, it was not, but
Over there.
yeah, no, doing it here, like maybe. less
Yeah.
expensive.
Right,
This is what
Well,
you're saying.
Right in our chart
It is,
too, we
yes.
actually have,
Yeah.
So it's
could
sort of,
be
well,
probably,
it doesn't mean it's gonna be cheap, it's just gonna be slightly less expensive. Maybe.
yeah.
yeah, but
Or,
Yes, oh yeah, but the only reason that I would promote doing this septic and the water over there, because it's not necessarily for a police station, it's for other uses too. It's just to make the building, bring it up to some standard that it could be used for other things. So that it could be used for, let's say there was an art exhibit or the recreation committee wanted to do something in there, or we wanted to have regular, a meeting space. So the Council on Aging wanted to have a different dedicated space. That, if we had a bathroom in there, the building is just going to be more useful to the town. So, without a bathroom, running water, it just sits there as like
Right.
another storage building.
Hmm.
Really, another old town
Right.
hall, which, which needs maintenance, which, we need to ensure and we need to be moving in and out of. And, we could use CPA money, but, go back in and do some more work on the building, but I don't think we should be investing a lot of money in the septic system and the porch and whatever, unless we're saying, yeah, we're going to use this building on some sort of regular basis, and putting a bathroom in there is going to make it much more attractive, useful option. So I guess that's why, I would say let's spend some money to figure out how we do this.
strategic and targeted spending.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's, and it might, we might learn that, that between Article 97, I don't think for the septic system that this would be,
I'd
especially.
be surprised if it
Yeah,
would be problematic.
I don't think, because it would be a municipal use, that they would go
Right.
crazy about it.
Right.
Because we already have a library there, had a library there. I think our legislators could get it done. But whether or not we could get a tight tank and a well there, I think that's a bigger question.
Right.
And so let's spend the money and then let's put it to rest. Do if this thing, and then do we want to, if it's just going to be $100,000 to do something over there, let's find that out now and then figure out, are we just going to mothball that building?
Mhm.
Instead of just angsting about it and people going, well, what are you doing? Let's put the post office in there. Somebody said,
Oh, yeah.
oh, God. Yeah, if you only knew
Right.
Mm.
how complicated this is.
So getting back to Mary Jo's initial
Yes.
comment, do we want to add something, maybe, parenthetically at the end of the very last paragraph here, the end of it, something like, if it's unfeasible at the present time, blah, 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 due to either something like procedural complexity and larger initial cost, or due to potential site issues and greater monetary outlay or, something
Yes.
like that
Yeah.
to get at the two main issues there. Procedurally, it's more complex and it would require a big chunk of money right away
Yes,
versus this option, which could be, phased,
yeah,
So
yes.
that's what I'm
Um,
thinking to kind of address that.
Can you write that sentence?
Well,
Now, so,
So like the more complex verbiage or, due to procedural complexity
Yeah.
and larger monetary outlay, for
yes,
example,
that sounds
initial.
good. Due to,
Hmm.
just due to procedural,
Complexity. And a larger, at least initial monetary outlay or cost if it has.
and maybe in higher cost,
All right.
higher cost.
Yeah, and I think the word initial is important because, I agree that this renovation of town hall could end up costing just as much in the end. And, we basically use $100,000 figure for both, there and here in our matrix. So we were admitting that it could be about the same.
Yeah.
So I think, again, in my mind, it's needing to come up with, well and septic money right off the bat, which is a big investment versus something that we could do here. Well, let's build the wall this year. Next year, we'll renovate the
Right.
kitchen, and then we'll do the floor when we can get the money, then it could be phased.
So where does the initial go?
A larger initial cost.
A larger. Okay, and larger.
Or greater initial cost might be better.
How about one paragraph then? Finally. Or I don't know, finally is the right way to start it. I would like to incorporate in here, or I don't know, maybe we could, I guess I would like to recommend the select board exploring, some engineering, engaging a sanitary engineer. Just to do some initial, pull together some initial cost estimates for doing septic and, a well over there.
Sounds like an actual recommendation
That
versus
sounds like an
wishy-washy, you could do this, you could do that.
And you could even add that they think about what uses, that this
They
should be guided by.
Yes,
But it's hard to do that if you don't know costs or, you know what I mean?
yes.
You want to be guided by use, but you can't consider use unless you have
That's correct.
clear understanding of what
That's
that cost
correct.
and
And
feasibility is.
because two of the, yeah, I think putting a bathroom in there just makes the options for that building so much greater. Police station, or no police station,
Right.
that it just makes sense to do it. To spend whatever and let's get an estimate. I don't know.
Right.
So could be a great.
Well, I agree.
I could be it could be a solo and the select board could just make a decision to do that. Doesn't
Well, if there's, we've been saying this, if there's no bathroom, the limit of use
Yes,
becomes very
Tiny.
small.
yes,
If there's a bathroom, then it's open to many things.
right,
Uh,
right.
I mean, police station could go there, police station could still go here.
Yes,
That's
right.
And then, like you just said, I mean, numerous other functions could occur over
Right,
there with a
right.
bathroom.
People wanted to have an art show,
Right.
they have an art show
Right.
there. People wanted to have a contra dance, whatever.
Okay, so like a.
But I want to make sure there's
Summary paragraph.
consensus here, yeah.
Well, it seems like there is, right?
I think minimally, we need to find out the feasibility of doing a bathroom, because that would lay so much to rest. One
Yes.
way or the
Yes,
other.
it would, yes.
And without that information, we're just gonna be sitting here with question marks
Spinning.
for years, spinning our
Yes.
wheels.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
So our recommendation can be, basically, and we can say in summary at the end of this, if you want to use those words,
yeah,
the committee feels that, a functioning bathroom at that site would greatly enhance the potential options for its future use. But it's important to know whether it's feasible and how expensive it would be to do that. And therefore, the committee would recommend that the select board take necessary actions to get, to determine the feasibility and the cost, essentially. Does that capture what we're
it does, but
talking
I
about?
didn't, I can't write that fast.
Yeah, well, I could write it if you want me to.
Yeah,
Uh,
so in summary, the committee feels that the installation of a bathroom and say water, but that assumes. Is I think that'd be money well spent.
It would be a feasibility study to see if,
Yeah.
what it would cost.
Exactly, yeah. So what they would do, Henry, they come in and probably do soil borings. They, see if they hit rock. They like look into, like, sort of how far they could go down. They'd cite where would a well go? And yeah, just what would the layout be for a tight tank and the well?
I guess we don't have any way of estimating what that would.
Well, I think Susie had talked to this Chris Goddard and it was a few $1,000s,
3,000.
3,000,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's not too-
But there might be a little bit more that we have to add on to that.
It's not that.
Yeah. I think, the select board would need to develop a scope of work for him to make sure that you're getting exactly the information from him that you need, and then he would say, here's what it's going to cost you. And here's because let's say we have to get, I think Susie mentioned like that the highway department come in, use the backhoe to dig a hole there. And if we wouldn't need to hire somebody from the outside, then we would have to pay $50 an hour or something for backhoe. So some costs we could absorb in-house. It's a tight, it's kind of a tight site over there.
Yeah.
Have that side.
It's also state approval, right?
Well, I think we can mess around with. We're not building anything. We're just like, and it's all gonna go back to where it was. If you make a hole and then you cover it back up, you're okay. It's more if you make a hole and you're putting something in there and then you're digging a well, you're just, you're changing, you're putting in utilities. And that's where you get into the Article 97, not if you're like exploring what's underneath there. We'll double check with Donna to make sure that that's okay. You got
Okay.
it?
Well, I've got something.
Okay.
In summary, the committee feels that the addition of a functioning bathroom at the former Spear Building greatly enhances the potential options for its future use or uses. However, some professional consulting services would be needed to assess the feasibility and cost of adding a bathroom. The committee recommends that the select board proceed with securing those services.
Excellent.
That's good.
Is that right?
That's excellent.
Okay.
That's a good, hard recommendation.
Yeah. It's a great way to end
That's a
our
great way
report.
to end. Yes, I think it is. Yeah.
It's just the, because otherwise you'd just be like, oh, that's interesting, maybe later.
Now, and they're gonna say, now what do we do?
Put it on the shelf.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about the study that we used, right?
Yes.
They did so much work to
Yes,
try to figure out
Right.
how to reconfigure and get space here.
yeah,
And here we are, how many years later,
Right.
using it just as a reference to figure
Right.
out what to do. next,
right,
Right?
right. Yeah, yeah. So I think that's great. And it's a, a concrete next step. But then you can go back to all this other work that we did on the chart and say, okay. Now we have some place to start, some figures.
Okay. How about if I rewrite the recommendation section and
Would
send
you
it
send
to?
it to, why don't you send it to me?
All right.
And then I'll do all the editing. Brennan is gone on like all next week. So there, I don't know when our meeting with the select board will be, but just so stay tuned with that. It's probably gonna be June. June 6th or something. I can't remember. There's a meeting next Tuesday, and then it's 2 weeks from then. So does anybody have their, see the calendar? So Tuesday is the 26th. So it looks like it's the 9th, June 9th. Yeah, June 9th. So if you can make it, that would be great.
What time is that?
We start at 5 o'clock. And we can try to get on the agenda first thing. If that works better for people, we can make it a little bit later. If that's better, you tell me and I'll,
June 6th.
June 9th.
9th.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Okay, great. Is there a preference for being like early on the agenda or?
Really, it's better.
Yeah, early, better, okay. So it might be 5:30, like if there's something, but, the June.
That's better for me.
5:30, Yeah.
Yeah, then it's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
So meeting with select board. Or. So one of you, I'm happy to do it that evening, or if one of you wanna give the final report, whatever. Paul, you wanna do it or?
I would do it, but I kind of did the last one with
Yeah,
Suzie, so
yeah.
if other people
Okay.
wanted to, I'd
Mary
be happy
Jo, can
to.
read?
So, when you say give the report,
We'll take draft off here. It will be this, we'll be handing off this report with all the edits that we need to vote, though. Yes.
so when you say, I wouldn't be reading the whole. thing.
No, we'd be just doing a summary
So
the
Mostly
highlights.
the recommendation
of the
section.
recommendation.
the last,
Yeah. Really the recommendation.
okay, recommendations.
Yes, yeah,
I would do it. It's just, I was not in on the ground floor with this. so
yeah,
A lot
okay.
of stuff that I'm learning just now.
Yeah.
That happened before, so.
Okay, you want to do it, Stephen? Okay, great. But let's make a, since we made those changes, do I hear a motion to approve the changes that we discussed today and to accept this as the final report to the Shutesbury Select Board?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Did we, did we address Susie's, the, H on, in our minutes? That change that, I haven't had a chance to go back and check that one.
It's,
Yeah, it's the, suggested adding to, for engage the public,
yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. And we're okay voting on this without actually seeing the final version?
I mean, we could do it that night if you want. Or you could just trust that it will be that the changes that we talked about. Do you want to see the final version and
If it's as stated, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine. I'm writing a lot of it, so that's.
okay,
That's,
you're good.
yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, we can always do that evening. We'll be in session.
All right.
So if there's something that we find, we could edit it,
Tweak it.
tweak it that night. So that's always an option. Don't be shy. Yeah. Okay, so a motion has been made and seconded to approve this final draft of the report to the select board. Any other comments, discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Johnson, I.
Yes.
Dalmas, I.
Lion's eye.
Carol, aye. Okay, great. Well, thank you all. As I said, our last meeting, really great. All of your time. I think it's really good. It was really excellent work, really good report, so.
I think now that we actually are making a.
Way to go, team.
We're all, can all feel validated.
We were able to avoid it till the very last moment.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor?
Johnson, I.
Get it, so.
Dalmas, I.
Lion's eye.
Farrell. Thanks, everybody.
By the way,